We've been rotten in League One, and it's going to be an easy 6 points for the 2 next season.
I know you didn't have much to look forward to then, but going to the Sunderland matches is a bit pathetic.
2 rival fans.
There was no locations from Sunderland on social media that weekend, I'll tell you that for sure.
Leicester City won the league, and they still weren't as entitled as you were at that point.
5 rounds of fierce debate.
Mate, I just had enough cake, right? We had enough cake in Newcastle, black and white cake, none left. Sold out Greg's.
Worked all right for him, not for you winning trophies.
Bragging rights up for grabs.
People said we wouldn't get past Coventry, we did. People said we wouldn't get past Sheffield United, we did.
Tell you what, every weekend is going to be an absolute joy to watch Sunderland getting bad.
Each player must use their time wisely before whacking their big red button to pile the pressure on their opponent.
I'm sure it's bigger than your stadium, your town, your fan base, any player that's ever wore that red and white shirt.
He only focused on himself for his goals, unlike the team.
Best of 5, winner takes all. This is SunSport Stoppage Time. We have got Conrad Lee representing Sunderland, and we've got Matty Renton representing Newcastle United. Fierce North East rivals go head to head on Stoppage Time. This is round 1. It's Conrad to speak first. You've got 1 minute each on your clocks. Your 2 teams face each other in the Premier League for the first time in a very long time this season. It's Conrad to speak first, and the topic is Sunderland will come out on top across the 2 Tyne-Wear derbies next season. 3, 2, 1, go.
I think it's just the best thing about us is we're an unknown factor at the moment. People wrote us off for the last few years, you know, and we're back here now. People said we wouldn't get past Coventry, we did. People said we wouldn't get past Premier League, Sheffield United, we did. People write us off to go straight back down. I don't see it happening. And the same with Matty, yourself, when you say you might take 6 points off us. I don't see it. I think we're an unknown quantity, and I think you're underestimating us.
Well, I've seen it a couple of years ago in the FA Cup. Obviously going to be exciting since then, and it was your B team apparently. But you're going to be no match, honestly. I mean, I'm actually delighted to have these derby days back. I really am. It's going to be the easiest 6 points that we've ever had. When you beat Sheffield United, I thought, the Blades could be a bit tricky then, but the Black Cats, put them to sleep. No problem at all. Do you know what I mean? It was going to be absolutely light work.
I think you're going into it too confident, and that'll be your downfall, really. I think we've got a lot of players you don't know about, and a lot of calibre of players that can do us really well in these games.
Well, you're right. I haven't got a clue about any of your players. The one I did know about was Job, and he took off as soon as he had the first chance, didn't he? So there's no way you can handle. Just think about it again, Isaac. You know what I mean? Gordon, Alanga's coming through the door. Yeah, you should be thanking me. You get to see these players at the Stadium of Light, to be honest. you should be really... Nobody ruled out the black and white carpet last year, the black and white bar. Yeah. When you got Sandro Tonali coming, yeah, you got Bruno Guimaraes walking through, Brazilian royalty. You should be thanking me.
No, we're not doing the bar again as this one. This time we'll have a proper go at it. We're not going to sit there and go, let's play out from the back from a Champions League team, which was just absolutely tragic that we even thought we could do that. We're going to have a proper game plan this time, as we did for the 2 games where people again wrote us off and we thought we couldn't do it, and we did. And then we're sitting there now with, like you say, Job's gone. We've got other players coming through, and you underestimate us. You really do.
Well, I look forward to underestimating you, and we'll see how the season pans out. But I tell you what, every weekend is going to be an absolute joy to watch Sunderland getting bad by Wolves and everyone. 5-0. We'll put these past you.
Ain't going to happen. We've got a good season in us this year, and we're going to stay up.
Time. There we go, lads. I don't know at the end of that whether I'm convinced that Sunderland are going to walk away with more points from the Tyne-Wear derbies next season, or it's going to be 16-0 on aggregate to Newcastle over both legs. You sort of talked quite a lot about the players you've signed. No names mentioned there. Mm-hmm. You said, you don't know what's coming. And Matty, to be fair to him, said, yeah, because I haven't heard of anyone you signed. Any names that you wish you brought up?
No, I'm quite happy with this unknown quantity of Sunderland. That's what we rely on at the moment, that people think they can work us out right from the offset and they know what's coming. And yeah, we're signing players all over the place. I think Diarra's one we've brought in, Sadique's one we've brought in, might be getting Talby as well from Club Brugge. These are good players, but they're unknown quantities in this league, and I think you'll be struggling to sort of try and do your research on them.
These are good players, Matty.
Where's that? Is that on like Pro Evo or FIFA or like fantasy
Champions
football?
League, Europa League players we're signing here.
No idea who they are, honestly. Couldn't tell you.
Conrad, what I liked from you there was the mention and a nod to the cup game before. Mm-hmm. You got a little bit of a humbling, to be fair. You said no more black and white carpet being rolled out in the away end. Absolute nonsense of the stuff. What I did like was you saying, look, we're going to take a different approach, style of play wise. We're not going to just turn up and roll over and try and play you at your own games. That gives me a little bit of confidence for Sunderland. You didn't mention any actual players. That's what I'd have liked to have heard about the signings, the players that you've got on board that are going to have an impact. And Matty, obviously, in your wheelhouse, you've got the big guns. You're full of confidence about both games after that round of stoppage time. I think that I'm confident that Newcastle will get the better of Sunderland over 2 games next season. So the first round of stoppage time, just about a difficult one to argue for you, goes to Matty Renton. It's 1-0 to Newcastle United.
Up the mags.
This is round 2. It's Matty Renton to speak first. There'll be 30 seconds on your clocks. And the topic is, boys, Alan Shearer was overrated and a terrible strike partner. Matty to speak first. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, the disrespect on the Premier League leading goal scorer, yeah? How can you possibly say that? The strike partner thing, he made Shola Ramiobi look like bloody Ronaldo. You know what I mean? He was amazing. Shola Ramiobi was doing on for 206th goal. Shearer with Shola, even Bellamy back in the day, was all right. He had a bloody Michael Owen with half a knee at the end of his day. So he's the man. He carried our club for years. Premier League legend, Premier League goal scorer.
It's just the sheer names that were on the list of people who've been with Shearer. You're talking Ferdinand, Beardsley, Clivert, Bellamy, Ferguson, Luque, like all these players you brought in to play with him, and they just didn't do it. You gave him 2 seasons, maybe 1, and just went, nah, had enough now. Back to Alan. He didn't want to pass to anyone. No one wanted to give him the ball. He only focused on himself for his goals, unlike the team.
Worked out alright though, didn't it? Really focused on himself. One of goals.
Worked all right for him, not for you winning trophies.
Time. Matty, what do you make of his last point there about it might worked all right for Shearer, Brand Shearer, but not so much for Newcastle United?
Brand Shearer, it's one of them ones what they'll hang on to. They'll hang on to that because he didn't quite get a trophy over the line. But let's be honest, Alan Shearer is bigger than Sunderland. Alan Shearer is bigger than your stadium, your town, your fan base, any player that's ever wore that red and white shirt. You know what I mean? Shearer, Alan Deck's bigger than Sunderland, to be fair. I don't know what Shearer is.
Thoughts and feelings, Conrad?
Well, the best dynamic duo we have is Quinn and Phillips, not Ant and Deck, really, and they actually played on the pitch rather than played on ITV, so that's my opinion on it.
There we go. Right, lads, absolutely furious debate there. What I would say, just quickly, I want to get your thoughts about the names that Matty mentioned as partners. Shola Amiobi, Michael Owen with half a knee. Were the ones you mentioned, do you think they were sort of success stories, or was it Shearer's problem, or was it the players?
I kind of think it was Shearer's problem. It was, like we said, Brand Shearer. He wanted to get the records for himself, which is not a problem. Kane did that at Spurs as well. He wanted all the glory for himself, and maybe if you won a trophy along the way, he was happy too. But it was all about Alan. It wasn't about Newcastle. Right,
lads, I've got to call it somewhere. Another very, very difficult one for you to argue there, Conrad, I must admit. But the names you mentioned, quite good point, to be fair, right, about the strike partners. Clive had never really done anything. Few of the names you ran through, Luque, none of them had a big impact, right, at Newcastle United. However, I think you just about clinched it for me, Matty, with the mention of Shola Amiobi making him look like Ronaldo and helping Michael Owen look good when he had half a knee. So, after 2 rounds on stoppage time, it's 2-0 to Matty Renton and Newcastle United FC. Conrad, mountain to climb for you. This is your 15-second round. Boys, it will be Conrad to speak first. And the topic is, Newcastle fans care far more about Sunderland and what they're up to than the Mackhams care about the Toon. Yeah. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, in our dark days down in League One, every away game you would find 2 or 3 Newcastle fans in the home end of the opponent team. You're travelling up, and I know you didn't have much to look forward to then, but going to the Sunderland matches is a bit pathetic, really, when you've got your own team that you could be looking after.
Time.
Well, I think it was just a good day out, really, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Why not? We'll go to Blackpool, we'll have a drink, watch Sunderland get battered. What's not love about that weekend away? I mean, why would we care about Sunderland? You mentioned it yourself. You've been rotten in League One. You're back in the Premier League finally after many years, and it's going to be an easy 6 points for the Toon next season.
Time. Betty, how do you think you got on there?
It's good. Very quick, that one though. Very quick, the 15-second round. Exactly. Could have done with a bit longer, probably.
You got to get it out quite quickly. Thoughts and feelings?
Yeah, I think I made the most obvious point, which is why you're coming to our matches. You've got your own team to work on. So,
what did you make of that? Were you there? Were you at any Sunderland away games?
No, I wasn't. Nah. I mean, I do have better things to do with time than that. But if people want to do it, you know what I mean? Cheap weekend away, League One, watch some proper football, as you would like to have said back then.
Yeah.
Cheap pints, probably drink at your seat, no. one cares. No one's there.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that is that there that sense around the stadium alike when you go to the matches that there's and the away games of course as well? Do you feel like there's a visceral hatred for the Mags?
I do. I mean, the most recent ones is whenever we're on Fabrizio Romano or Keith Downey. And it's Sunderland related, all the comments are just flooded with Newcastle fans going, he's crap, he's terrible this, he's awful this. Like, it's a bit like, just focus on your own team. You've got enough to worry about. Champions League, you're going for trophies now. Why are you still caring about what we're doing? We haven't even looked at what you're doing.
You can't tell me you weren't looking on the weekend of March for the Carabao Cup final, praying that Liverpool were going to do you a lot of favour and win. And then you switched off and nobody was tweeting from Sunderland that weekend, was there? There was no locations from Sunderland on social media that weekend, I'll tell you that for sure.
What about painting the away concourse black and white?
Yeah, that was a bad step from the club, shall we say, and I don't know who advised them of that was going to be a good idea, but I'm hoping that we certainly sorted them out afterwards and got rid of them, because that was pathetic.
I mean, that's the best thing ever, that, isn't it, really?
It's tragic, is what it is.
Swapping the red carpet for a black and white one. Oh, it doesn't get much better.
It was all the memorabilia, and it was the way they promoted it. Like, yeah, this is great. Look at what we've done. It's like you just don't get it at all, do you? Like, you
even changed the Who We Are the Lads to the Geordie version. I mean,
terrible.
Thank you. A great day as well. 3-0.
Listen, lads, excellent stuff for round 3. You mountain to climb, to be fair. Conrad, Matty, do you feel that you sort of did enough there?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Feel like you did enough. One thing I will say, there was no real rebuttal to what Conrad said, and I've never heard anything quite as tragic as fans of another team going and to sit in the home end against teams of their bitter rivals. I support West Ham United, would never do that to a game Tottenham were playing. So I'm going to have to give it to Conrad. It's 2-1 to Newcastle on stoppage time.
Back in it.
Conrad, you've managed to get yourself back in it. It's 2 minutes on the clock this time, so you've got the most time for the whole of stoppage time to speak. If you play this properly, Matty, you can seal the win here in round 4. 2 minutes on the clock. Matty to speak first. The topic is Sunderland would have more players in a Premier League era combined 11 between the two teams than Newcastle would. It's Matty to speak first. You already don't believe what the topic is. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, this is insane. But we'll start it off. Shea Given, obviously in goal. I'm just going to go through the full 11. Shea Given in goal, yeah, one of the Premier League greats, great for Newcastle. Trippier, right back, captain, leader. We'll go centre backs. We'll go for current ones. Big Dan Bin, yeah, Carabao Cup hero. We'll move on a little bit. Bruno, Tonali, yeah, Rob Lee back in the day. Gary Speed, the legend, rest in peace. David Ginola, Tino Asprilla up front. Shearer, Alexander Isak, Anthony Gordon. How many have I named already? We can just keep going, can't we? Absolutely loads, to be fair.
15.
Absolutely loads, yeah. All the long staffs. Everyone, to be fair. Keep going.
I'll start with our goalkeeper. Tommy Sorensen saved a penalty crucially in the derby to win a game. The best thing about Shea Given was the fact that his first actual trophy and medal came playing for Sunderland. So I think, yeah, if you want Given, then that's all right. Trippier, yeah, fair enough, but I think Phil Bardsley was better for us in the two teams on there, getting assists and goals in the derby games all the time. And Trippier hasn't played in the derby apart from an FA Cup where we had a B team out, fair enough. Centre-backs, John Mensah, you can't look past him, World Cup legend. Johnny Evans from when he was on loan at us as well. Michael Gray at left-back, getting assists, whipping that ball in for Niall Quinn all the time. I'll stop there and let you have a little look at the defence.
I mean, my goodness me. You just said Phil Bardsley. Fucking Trippier. The captain who did win in that. You had a B team out, apparently, you just said there, but who won in the derby last season. La Liga champion and Carabao Cup champion. England legend as well, loads of caps. I mean, the defence, Sven Botman's there. Titus Bramble play for both clubs. That's about as good as you're going to get. The whole of the players you named, I don't even know who they are.
That's more on you if you don't know who they are, really. But Titus Bramble was decent for us. I think he had more of his calamitous years, shall we say, for Newcastle. But Sven Botman doesn't even play. He's injured half of the season, really. So I'm still sticking there with Johnny Evans, Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues. Just he started out his career with us. Mensah, World Cup player for Ivory Coast, robbed of a semi-final for Ivory Coast as well. Ghana, not Ivory Coast. And then when look into the midfields, you've got like Kevin Ball, Lorik Sana, Lee Catamol for us. You've got Steed Malbronk out in the wings, Kieran Richardson, Sessegnon, great player, scored loads of goals in derby games against you as well. And up front, you can't compete with the duo that is Niall Quinn and Kevin Phillips, working together so well. We talked about flick-ons before for goals. Niall Quinn flicks it on, Phillips scores a goal.
We'll just go currently, right? Because you name all these players from back in the day when the TVs were this colour. Black and white, I don't even know what you're talking about. So right now, we've got Lewis Hall, England fullback, Tino Livramento, England fullback. There's 2. You look around the pitch, Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon. You look around even the youngins that are coming through, Louis Miley. These sort of players would walk into your team. You know what I mean? They walk into your team. You're naming players from I don't even, honestly, no idea. And just bang average players. Bang average players. I mean, I don't watch a Championship, League One. I haven't seen it. So I don't know who they are.
Well, the question was all-time Premier League combined, so that's why I have to go back to those times as well, when we did have Premier League players, and instead of looking at it now, you're right, Lewis Miley might walk in. He walked into a challenge on Luke 09 and went face first in the turf in the derby game as well. Another player who walked into a challenge, Colback, played for both, but Lee Cattermole saw to that one as well and put him on the ground.
I mentioned the walked into a foul, but he also walked away with a 3-0 win, didn't he? So that was nice and easy. I mean, listen, it's just a silly argument, really, isn't it? We all know when you look at Newcastle United, you've never played in the Champions League, you've never had European nights, you've never had players wear the Champions League badge on the sleeve, you've never seen them lift the trophy. Well, unless it's literally paint trophy, whatever it is. The Carabao legends are here, right? Newcastle by far winning. They're all 11.
Time.
It's just recency bias with Newcastle and the financial money in there at the moment. With all the players that you're listing, they're all in the last 3 years, bar Shearer that I heard on in there, really. And Dan Burn, yeah, you mentioned Carabao Cup, not Premier League. Didn't win anything for you in the Premier League with it there. So,
Time. That's riveting stuff. Yeah. Conrad, talk to me.
Yeah, I think I did all right. I had to bring up a lot of names from the past, but that's because we've been out of it for so long.
It was a Premier topic.
Yeah.
Matty, utter derision you met a few of those answers with. Talk to me.
I mean, yeah, we could have went further back. I just wanted to go now. Because we talked Premier League, we could have went. I did mention Rob Lees, Gary Speeds, could have went Solanos, Roberts, Jenas, Dyer.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Not mentioned in the time, though, I'm afraid.
So what are you having the Quinn Phillips versus Shearer Aspria, sort of the head-to-head up front?
I mean, to be fair, Kevin Phillips was actually a good striker, and Niall Quinn, but they're still not in the same bracket. Was Phillips taking Shearer's England spot? No, he wasn't. Was he in the European nights playing Barcelona, like Aspria, Quinn or Phillips? No, they weren't. They were playing bloody Stockport. And all these, like, do you know what I mean?
Stockport in the Premier League at that time? I don't think they were.
Not a chance, you know what I mean?
What are your thoughts on the accusations of recency bias? Because to be fair, looking through a couple of your players here, quite a lot of these players, bar your midfield to be fair, but you did name Tonali, you said Dan Burn, not quite so sure about Dan Burn, Hall, Trippier, Barnes, Gordon,
Bruno G, Isak.
Yeah, lots of recency bias. What are your thoughts?
So you're gonna totally get rid of Dan Burn, who's now England centre back and just won a Carabao Cup. For who did you mention? Johnny Evans and
John Mensah.
John Mensah.
The Rock of Gibraltar, John Mensah. That's his actual middle name. Put some respect on John Mensah.
Sounds like
I could have gone Naira Nosworthy just for legend status for me, but no, it had to be Mensah and Evans.
Titus Bramble. The shout being from Conrad that he had his more calamitous days at Newcastle. True or false?
That's the pressure of playing for a big club.
As opposed to Sunderland.
As opposed to Sunderland, who had £10,000 every week.
Right, okay, so we'll run through the team, right? It was Sorensen or Given. If I'm to give you the benefit of the doubt there, I did quite like your argument about the fact that Given's only trophy he won was when he was on loan at Sunderland. So, assume we'll give you the point.
What trophy was that, by the way?
Championship League 1, Division 1 for Sunderland.
Great. We'll count that then.
It's a medal.
I bet Shay's got it at home in his trophy cabinet.
I'm sure he has, yeah.
Phil Bardsley versus Kieran Trippier. That one was met with quite a big laugh.
Kieran Trippier is a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but
he's no Phil Bardsley.
No, Phil Bardsley.
I've had enough, me.
There we go. All right. Well, so we might have Trippier. I'll probably give you Evans over Dan Burn, to be fair. Not that I know
in the Sunderland shit.
Well, I know that is difficult, but I'm trying to
give
him the benefit of the doubt here.
You mentioned La Liga for Trippier. That wasn't with you.
John Mentor or Sven Botman?
Oh,
They're both equally injury prone, I'll give you that.
Exactly, yeah. Gray versus... to be fair, your left-back shouts weren't overly great, so I'll give you Gray a left-back. Hall and Livramento were your calls.
The two England fullbacks weren't the best shouts. Over who?
None of these are English stars, to be fair.
The only one who was behind Ashley Cole at the time. That's the only one he was behind in terms of England left-backs.
Listen,
He's going to get hammered in the comments to say that Tino Livramento and Lewis Hall aren't good shouts at fullbacks.
I'm saying they're all right, but I'm just saying Michael Gray's better in a combined Premier League time. Premier League have been going a long time.
Listen, a very difficult one for you to argue then, Conrad,
Yeah.
I believe. However, I think you did a very, very capable job indeed. But I do have to give it to Matty Renton, and it's 3-1 to Newcastle United on stoppage time.
Same things to come next season.
Robbed.
Matty, you've sealed the win, but Conrad, you still have pride to play for in this round 5 of stoppage time. You'll have 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, and the topic is Mike Ashley was a far better owner than Newcastle United fans give him credit for. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, Mike Ashley was wanting to keep you in the Premier League for all the time just so he could pocket the money off of it as well. Even when you got relegated, the first thing he did was, I'll put money back into it to get you back in the Premier League. Most clubs will die to be part of the Premier League consistently forever. So if that was the goal, he was certainly achieving it for you.
Problem is, didn't really achieve it because we got relegated twice under his tenure. And before that, we hadn't been relegated for many years. And it shows since he left what the club was capable of, and we're sleeping giant is now awakened.
Well, there's the players that he brought in as well, though, you've got to look at. I mean, one of your best players now, Joe Linton, that was a Mike Ashley purchase as well. You got Demba Ba, Papi Cisse, Perez, the list goes on with really great players. I know everyone has bad players as well, but those are some real standouts for you within his tenure before the new owners came in as well.
Joe Linton was, the biggest flop in Premier League history, I think, before Eddie Howe came in. £40 million striker. He's been playing defensive midfielder ever since. So I think Ashley's getting no credit for that. Neither is Big Brucey. So we'll leave them two out of it. We'll leave them in the past where they belong. And thankfully, we've got better players, bigger fish to fry at the club right now.
I don't know, it's still not like the ambition of him, maybe not to win a trophy, but just to keep you there, keep the money. He wanted his slice of the cake as well. He wanted to take his money out of the club, and I think he earned it because he was willing to stay there with you and keep you going through some tough, maybe dreary times, but tough times.
They were very tough times, dark times. Mike Ashley's had enough cake, right? He had enough cake in Newcastle, black and white cake, none left. Sold out Greggs. Other bakeries are available. So Mike Ashley's had enough. We didn't want him. Sports Direct FC, trying to plaster it all around the ground. That's all he wanted. But he's shopping advert, not a football club.
I don't know, I think being a bit harsh, he was really trying to make something at Newcastle and build up his own brand with Newcastle as well to try and get two things going rather than just one. He just, yes, we can all look into some dodgy stuff at Sports Direct with, some bits, but he was trying to do right by us, and that's all you can ask for with an owner. Look at some clubs that just go bust when their owner won't put in. Sunderland, a prime example. When we went down, the owner just went, nope, that's it, you've had enough.
How far do I go trying to say how bad Mike Ashley was? Do you know what I mean? 2 relegations, fined for 17th every year, sold the best players as soon as the chance came. Andy Carroll, 35 million. We use the next Alan Shearer. You're going to stay at Newcastle, do you know what I mean? Not his fault he got flogged off to Liverpool. Yeah, dished up the helicopter, see you later. If he had stayed, if he had kept our big players, Demba Ba, you mentioned him, 6 months, bang, gone to Chelsea, see you later. Sold anybody that he could get any money from. So he had no intention of doing well at Newcastle. It was all about promoting his sport.
Just quickly on Demba Ba, though, in terms of PSR current things now, you got him for free and sold him for 7 million. That's a good bit of business right there.
Time.
Well, Mike Ashley, to be fair, is a good businessman, but he's definitely not a good football owner.
Time. Gentlemen, excellent stuff to kick off stoppage time. I did like your point that, there are lots of worse owners out there in the world, lots of them driving clubs to bankruptcy. You mentioned, of course, pumping money back in to push the club back to the Premier League after you were relegated. Matty, excellent shout, of course, about the Sportswear brand advertising board that many Newcastle fans felt Mike Ashley had turned St James's Park into. And of course, like you say, a couple of relegations. It were dark, dark times for lots of Newcastle fans. Not a lot in it, but I do have to give it to one of you. And the final round of stoppage time and the win. It's 4-1 to Matty Renton and Newcastle United FC.
Yes.
Thoughts and feelings and emotions, lads?
Probably an accurate scoreline of next year, you would say, wasn't it? Maybe 4-1, if you get a consolation.
Nah, not at all. We're going to do it. We're going to get 6 points.
6?
Yeah, easy.
Well, there you have it. The final whistle blows on another fiery Sunderland versus Newcastle clash here on Stoppage Time. And this time it's the Magpies soaring high. Hard luck to the Black Cats and better luck in December, of course. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more scorching derby debates here on Stoppage Time. And we'll see you next time.